Liverpool are top of the Premier League, but let me ask you this question. Do Brentford have a way of stopping Liverpool this weekend? The answer to that question is yes, but how? And that is why today we're going to have a look at Brentford and the potential problems they could cause Liverpool this weekend. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jamie. I'm a football content creator. I currently work with two of the biggest Liverpool fan channels out there in anything Liverpool and the Cop Watch. And from what I can see, people are worried. Brentford have one of the best home records in the Premier League, and Liverpool, they're struggling. They are struggling right now. We're 4 games into 2025, and the only win we currently have is against Accrington Stanley. So before we look at how Brentford could potentially hurt Liverpool, we need to know how Liverpool are going to line up. So that's what we're going to take a look at now. So let's get into it. Up first is obviously going to be Alisson in goal. I know he's got a lot of criticism the last couple of weeks since he's come back from his injury, but he still is Liverpool's #1 keeper, and I wouldn't think about changing him until we feel like it's a dire situation. Alisson is #1 and he should be starting this week against Brentford. Into right back then is obviously going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold. He wasn't as good maybe against United as what we had hoped, but against Forest I thought he did well. He definitely caused issues going forward defensively. Hudson-Odoi didn't get too much out of him, and the one thing is with Trent is he's gonna leave you exposed at times. I think Kanate coming back is gonna help. So yeah, I would start Trent again at right back. Bradley I don't think is at the same level right now, but Trent is our best right back and probably the best right back in the world. In at centre back then is obviously going to be Kanate and Virgil van Dijk, our two best centre backs. Kanate looks a tiny bit slow after coming back from his injury, but he still is unbelievable. And Van Dijk, we all know what we get with Van Dijk. He is so good. And I think that is our best lineup. If them two can't stay fit until the end of the season, then Liverpool will be in with a very good chance of winning the Premier League. So they are going to start at centre back. Left back then, I am making a change. Kostas Tsimikas comes into the team. Andy Robertson, I think, just looks tired. He looks fatigued. It looks like he's not coming back to any good form that we could hope. Defensively, I think they're probably at a similar level right now, but Tsimikas offers you a little bit more going forward, and that's why I think Tsimikas should start. He obviously came on, got the assist for Jota's goal straight away against Forest, and I think he can offer something going forward against this Brentford team, so I would start him at left back. Into midfield then, and I think this is our best midfield trio. It's obviously going to be Ryan Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai. The one thing about Szoboszlai I think is we actually did miss him when he went out injured for the last couple of games, and I think him coming back against Forest, we've seen the energy that he brings, the passion that he brings, and the quality that he brings at this moment in time. So him being fit is obviously really important to the team, and I think if he stays fit for the rest of the season, we should be in a good spot as well. Right wing, I'm obviously going to go Mohamed Salah. Hasn't been the best since the turn of the year, the Christmas curse, which everyone seems to be talking about, and there is something that I want to bring your attention to. So as we know, Salah is our guy. Salah is the man that we rely on, but there is a worrying sign with Salah is that he only really comes to the fore when teams are tired. And when you're playing against really good teams that are really switched on, that is an issue. So if we take a look here, we can see some of his stats. So Salah in the first half of games in the Premier League so far this season, you can see the difference in terms of how much his output is. So his XG in the second half of games is 15 compared to that of 4 in the first half. His shot conversion is nearly 25% higher than it is in the first half of games compared to the second half. And then obviously the goals and assists, so 19 goals compared to 2 in the first half, and then he has a similar number of assists, which isn't too bad. But you can just see when teams start to get tired, that's when Salah comes alive. Even in the second half against Forest, he had 2 or 3 really good chances. One was blocked on the line, one he probably should have finished where he pulled it wide. And Salah is, in all questions, so good, so fit, and so mentally switched on so much of the game that's why you can see Slot doesn't take him off coming into the second half of games, and it annoys some Liverpool fans. But Salah is that guy where he will get chances and he will eventually take his moment. Sometimes it hasn't come in the last couple of games, but you need to leave him on, and when he's able to cause so much problems for teams in the second half of the game, that's when you want him there, and that's when you want him to take those chances. Coming back into the team, I'm obviously going to start Cody Gakpo on the left wing. He has been unbelievable, arguably Liverpool's best player over the last, say, 2 or 3 months. I know Salah was unbelievable in December, but Cody Gakpo, in terms of consistency, in terms of levels, in terms of expectations of what you would want from a player, he has been incredible. So he starts left wing. And then up front is a change. Diogo Jota came on against Forest, did really well. Luis Diaz has gone off the boil a tiny bit, and I think Jota deserves to start this game against Forest. He has been really good when he comes on. He's our best finisher in the club, I would say, and I think he deserves to get that starting place against Brentford this weekend. So if you like this lineup so far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content so far. We're also going to be doing a full watch along this weekend for the game against Brentford, so I shall see you all there. So now we know what way Liverpool are going to line up against Brentford. What is the issues that they might cause? What is the way they could disrupt Liverpool this weekend? And to be honest, it's the stadium itself. It's the players. Liverpool have this terrible habit of starting games slow. And if they start slow against Brentford, we are going to be in a world of bother. And I'll just take it on to this next point because it is so important. Liverpool in the first half of the season and second half, it is like day and night. Similar to what we were talking about with Mohamed Salah. Liverpool just don't seem to be able to get going in first halves, and it's cost us so far this year. It cost us against Man United and it cost us against Forest. And if you look at some of the stats, you can see second half per game, the goals is 1.5 compared to 0.9. The shots a little bit higher. XG might be higher, but that's because we're obviously starting to come out a little bit more. We might be going for the game. We might be going for it. Goals conceded is 0.5, same as shots faced. We face more shots, and then XG again, so we have a higher XG. Liverpool, we start to come out, we start to go for the game a little bit more. And I understand from Slot's perspective where he wants to obviously understand what way the team is set up against them, but Liverpool need to be more up for it going into the first half of games, because if they say they go into the second half and they let Brentford come at them, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. If Brentford say get a goal, the stadium gets on top of us, then that's just not what you want. So Liverpool need to be at it from the start against Brentford. Score prediction for this one, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. I think Liverpool have had a tough start to the season. The draw against United, the draw against Forest, but I think we're going to get back to win ways against Brentford. But we need, as I said, we need to be on it, because if we're not, we will get punished.